Good afternoon, and welcome to Purdue University Northwest. Will those who are able please stand for the singing of our national anthem? Chancellor Keon, the convocation of Purdue University Northwest 4th Commencement is assembled. Please be seated.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this commencement exercise, the culmination of Purdue Northwest student success, and indeed one of the proudest days in the lives of our graduates and their families. For today's commencement, some of you have traveled from across town, others from across the world, and many from locations in between. Today is a day of celebration and recognition, a day of applauding achievements, a day of proud reflection, and perhaps even shedding a tear or two of joy. And of course, this is the day you're receiving your cherished diploma. Candidates, I applaud you on your hard work, determination, and sacrifice. Parents, grandparents, other family members and friends, I also applaud your hard work, determination, and sacrifice. Graduation is not a celebration exclusive to those receiving diplomas. Before we continue the celebration, I invite our graduation candidates to offer their heartfelt, thankful applause and support for everything that they have received from their parents, family, friends, and others who in various ways helped you to get here today. So candidates, would you please recognize those that have supported you? Purdue Northwest is honored to have some special guests with us today to help celebrate our graduates. It is my pleasure to welcome our Purdue Northwest legacy families. Each PNW legacy family has a second, and in some cases, a third generation candidate participating in the ceremony today. They are our sons, daughters, siblings, or grandchildren. We are grateful for the tradition that you continue today and share the pride in all of our graduates. Will the legacy families please stand? My lone instruction of the day is to ask that all in attendance be respectful as we read the names of each graduate, so that each of you will be able to hear the name of your graduate as well. Thank you. Several individuals whose leadership is vital to Purdue University Northwest are seated on the platform, and as much as they will not be introduced later, I want to take this opportunity to introduce them to you now. As I do, I will ask them to stand and remain standing. I also will invite you to recognize them with your applause after they have all been introduced. Our Grand Marshal, Dr. Daniel Wilbur. Vice Chancellor for Administration and Finance, Mr. Stephen Turner. Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management and Student Affairs, Dr. Carmen Panlilio. Vice Chancellor for Advancement and the presenter of our candidates, Dr. Regina Biddings-Moreau. Vice Chancellor for Information Services, Mr. Tim Winders. Diploma Marshals, Ms. Cheryl Arroyo and Ms. Roberta Allen. Outstanding, dedicated faculty serve the students of Purdue University Northwest. Through teaching, research, and engagement, our faculty enrich the learning and further the success of our students. For that, I invite the members of our hard-working faculty to stand and be recognized with our applause. Faculty. Alexis Vasquez Diedlo joins us this afternoon as our guest speaker. Raised in Gary and East Chicago, Indiana, Alexis graduated from Purdue University Northwest with highest distinction in 1994, earning a bachelor's degree in political science and government. Alexis went on to earn her Juris Doctorate from the John Marshall Law School in 2002, having received academic scholarships. From 2006 through 2017, she had a private practice in Lake County, Indiana, with an emphasis on family and criminal law. She also served as a family law mediator and guardian ad litem. In 2017, she was sworn in as referee to the Lake Superior Court Juvenile Division. As a juris officer, Alexis now decides disputes between parties and oversees cases involving children. Alexis is a past board member of the Lake County Drug-Free Alliance, Parents as Teachers, Bishop Noel Institute, Tradewin, Haven House, and the Hispanic Organization Promoting Excellence. Alexis is the majority owner of the radio station WJOB AM 1230 and 107 FM in Hammond, Indiana. She's married to James and has 3 wonderful children. Please join me in welcoming Alexis to the podium.
Thank you to Chancellor Thomas Keon, the Board of Trustees, and to the entire Purdue Northwest for allowing me to speak to you today. As I look out at this impressive group of graduates, I am well aware of the hard work and sacrifice that it took to get you here today. It takes me back to 1994, the day I graduated from Purdue Northwest. And while I am sure that some of you weren't even born yet, let me assure you that we may have more in common than you think. On graduation day back in '94, I did the walk around the lawn outside the Union with my 8th grade son and 18-month-old daughter. I had given birth to her mid-semester. I took a midterm on Wednesday, had a baby on Thursday, and took another midterm the following Tuesday. Evidently, having a baby wasn't an excuse for not showing up for midterms that year. There were few places on campus to nurse babies back then. Believe me, it was a challenge. Also, a few days before graduating from here, I had found out that I was going to have another child. Graduation day at Purdue Northwest was one of the happiest days of my life. Needless to say, I was not your typical college student, but I was part of a group of students, most of us raised in the region, most of us from blue-collar backgrounds, and some of us first-generation Americans, who, like you, had the support of many to get you through our studies. Your parents, spouses, friends, maybe even your children. They all endured our endless hours away from home, our study sessions, our moody, stressed-out meltdowns, and the financial sacrifice that it takes to get through college. As I stand before you today, I can't help but ask the question, how did I get here? I'm not sure that I have an answer for you, but let me give you a little bit of my background. Maybe we can all learn something from it. My parents were raised in Mexico. They came to Northwest Indiana looking for a better life and hopeful for a better future. They raised 7 children in Gary and East Chicago. My parents taught us the value of hard work and the value of a good education. They taught us that no job was too menial and that no task was too difficult. My father worked in a steel mill for 35 years. Every once in a while, I run into an aging steel worker who will stop me. Your dad Shorty was my foreman. Man, he was a real, you fill in the blank. My dad's about this tall, and he feared no man. I try every day to emulate this part of my dad's character. My mom stayed home most of the day, and at night she cooked over at El Taco Real restaurant right here in Hammond. As kids, we didn't go out for dinner. My mom and dad couldn't afford it. But believe me when I tell you that we ate the best Mexican food in the region, right in our own home. My mom made and still makes the best enchiladas, flautas, tamales, and carne de puerco tacos on her own stove. If you go in her kitchen, you better speak at least some Spanish, or you'll wind up with a plate full of food you never even asked for. As children, we were expected to contribute to the household. As teenagers, we all found jobs. We waitressed, delivered papers, cleaned the local church, and ironed other people's clothes. If we wanted to go out with our friends, we had to run the gauntlet of a long list of often impossible chores for my mother. There are overprotective mothers in all cultures. They will do everything in their power to protect you from the evils of the world by keeping you home as long as possible. My parents sacrificed to pay for our Catholic education. My father demanded straight A's. I met his demands. I had a scholarship to Purdue, Lafayette, but when it was time to leave home, I was afraid. Instead, I got married straight out of high school, and by the age of 19, I had a baby boy. My parents were disappointed, to say the least. I was afraid, yet I was very arrogant. I thought I knew it all, and no one could convince me otherwise. A few years later, I was a young single mom with a 5-year-old child to support. I was fortunate enough to have a family to return to, and parents who didn't say "I told you so" too often. But there I was, 24 years old, and living with my parents, so I hit the road running. As much as I loved my parents, I didn't want to live with them. I waitressed during the day, bartended at night, and in between attended secretarial school. For 2 years, I barely saw my son. At least, however, I knew that he was eating well. Eventually, I got a job as an office administrator for a Lake County judge. This was my first exposure to the legal system. I met court reporters, lawyers, probation officers, and judges. At the beginning, it was very intimidating, but as I grew comfortable in my new surroundings, I began to imagine that I could one day be a lawyer. After all, from the looks of some of our local Lake County lawyers, how hard could it be? But of course, I never told any of the lawyers that I met or the judge that I worked for about my secret dream to pursue a career in law. After all, I was almost 30 and still didn't even have an undergraduate degree. I began taking classes at Purdue Northwest, part-time at first and then full-time, majoring in political science and minoring in criminology and women's studies. It was here at Purdue that I found my voice and a confidence that I didn't even know I had. I entered John Marshall Law School on a 5-year part-time program. It sounds arduous, but after everyone went to bed, I would spread my books and papers on the table in our 800-square-foot home and study. When I finally marched to bed, I felt a strange peace. The law does that to you. If you immerse in it completely, you can't wait to get back to it. I graduated law school at the sprite age of 41. In a curious set of circumstances that I'll save for another day, I wound up buying 2 local radio stations. If you look to the north, there's a 400-foot tower. That's WJOB AM 1230. It had once been a proud region radio, but it had fallen on hard times. Few people listened. In an act of daring and ignorance, I became majority owner and manager of 2 radio stations. 3 years later, when I left to pursue my law career, the stations were making money and were once again the voice of the region. I built a private law practice with a focus on family law. And last year, I became a referee in the Lake County Juvenile Courts. Every day, I wear a robe, and now lawyers call me judge. As I stand here before you today, I must admit that some days I still can't believe what's happened. So I guess that's what you call a Latina's short answer to, how did I get here? This is my story. This is how I got to be your commencement speaker. Now, here's some lessons you can forget on your way out of here. 1, cherish your missteps. You will make many. It's not that you make mistakes, it's how you deal with them. This isn't something that you're taught in an ethnic household, but to move forward, you have to forgive your missteps. The day my son and I moved back in with my parents, I knew that I would have to forgo all the self-pity and just move forward. It's easier than you might think, especially if you don't have any other choice. 2, step out of your comfort zone. You have been comfortable here for the past couple of years as you studied furiously to finish up. Now what? There will be opportunities you didn't plan for. If you go in with an open mind, you might discover things you never thought possible. Once again, taken from my story, there was an opportunity to buy 2 failing radio stations and rebuild them. I closed my eyes and jumped in the deep end. 14 years later, you can drive around the corner to the WJOB AM and FM studios over at Purdue Commercialization Center. We teach broadcasting classes there and air Purdue Northwest games on the radio and in video on streaming media. Purdue and WJOB, they go hand in hand into the future. But who would have thought it? Certainly not me. 3, accept who you are, where you came from, and own it. Purdue Northwest is the most diverse campus in Indiana, in my opinion, and you can walk down the halls and hear 4 different languages in 5 steps. Many of you come from foreign countries. Many of you are the first in your family to graduate college. The diversity is one of the biggest strengths of Purdue has. Believe me, I know the doubt that comes with being a minority woman. And I also know what is possible if you can overcome the doubt. The world has changed. If you are a minority in some way, you don't get to use that as an excuse. It is a part of your strength. Use it. 4, it can be summed up in one word: la familia, family. One way or another, you didn't get to this day without some help along the way. Recognize this. Don't forget it. Thank your parents. Thank your family. Thank your friends. Thank anyone who made this journey just a little easier, including your professors, your counselors, the staff in and around the campus, That's what I'm doing by giving this speech that you will forget by next week, if not the end of the day. I am thanking all of these people, and you know who you are. There are more lessons that I could pluck from my journey. Just know this. I am completely humbled and honored to speak to you today. I still can't believe that Chancellor Keon asked me to do it. And know that I went from broke single mom to court referee and owner of 2 radio stations. Anything is possible if you just remember the 4 lessons I told you. What are they again? I hope you were paying attention because I believe there's a pop quiz at the end of this ceremony. Congratulations to the class of 2018 and good luck to you.
I strive to make sure that our speaker is a graduate of Purdue University Northwest, and it really was a true pleasure for me to find Alexis and know that she had this rugged road to success. But she worked hard, she took chances, and has been extraordinarily successful. We're so pleased to have you here today. Thank you, Alexis. For the introduction of academic degrees, I now invite Professor Saul Lerner, representing Purdue Northwest faculty, to the podium.
Chancellor Keon, Trustee DeKruiger, Provost, and Attorney DeLow. First, let me congratulate all of the graduates who are before us. I think there is no question about the fact that Attorney DeLow illustrated very effectively the many accomplishments that she has made in behalf of Northwest Indiana. We hope similarly that all of our graduates will make a contribution to Northwest Indiana, not only by their graduation, but by their commitment to the community of Northwest Indiana. The conferral of academic degrees is a critical responsibility, the accomplishment of which signifies that degree recipients have successfully completed a sufficiently rigorous and enlightening curriculum of courses that provides appropriate preparation to assume roles of contribution, responsibility, the leadership that advances our society. The faculty of Purdue University Northwest has evaluated the academic accomplishments of the candidates presented here today and have concluded that pending the completion of final outstanding requirements, each of these candidates meets the criteria for receiving a Purdue University degree. Based on that conclusion, the faculty recommends to the trustees of Purdue University that appropriate degrees be conferred. We have assembled here to celebrate that conferral and to congratulate the graduates. Thank you.
Professor Joy Colwell, Director of Graduate Studies, will present the candidates for the master's degree.
Good afternoon. Will the candidates for the master's degree please stand? These students have successfully fulfilled the requirements for the master's degree. Each wears a hood, recognizing his or her academic discipline and symbolizing the completion of that advanced degree. With the approval of the faculty, they are now presented to receive their degrees.
We are honored that Trustee DeKruiger, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, is here today for the conferral of degrees. Trustee DeKruiger, please join me at the podium.
Observing the respected custom of institutions of higher learning and exercising the authority of the trustees of Purdue University, legally vested by the people of the state of Indiana, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I now confer upon you who have fulfilled the requirements the master's degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. I also solemnly place upon you those obligations which you must henceforth assume as holders of a master's degree from Purdue University. As evidence of your ability to fulfill the requirements and obligations of this degree, you will now receive your diploma.
Will Candidate Marshal, Mr. Roy Hamilton, please escort the candidates for graduate degrees forward to receive their diplomas. As the candidates make their way to the stage, please note they will be crossing in a random order. Ravali Potapali. Tanuj Chandra Adagudu. Spandana Uranti. Rand Abdallah. Brahmini Kata. Mani Teja Nutalapati. Julie C. Kelleher. Stephen Scott Rarick. Eric L. Tiemens. Cody James Williams. Mani Shekhar Gaud Velagana. Venkata Vanil Chebrolu. Paul Santos Perez, Jr. Olivia M. Beck. Ahmed Aldaboni. Richard S. Marks. Li Yuan Huang. Shi Chao Feng. Kawar Hafiz. Yuqian Fang. Tianing Hu. Nicholas J. Jukes. Wenqi Li. Fangshidi Chen. Ziyu Zhou. Pei Yuan Yu. Huinan Shao. Guanzhong Chen. Yiqi Zhang. Yachon Wu. Xian Lu. Feroja Goni. Ikenna Ezugwu. Yuhan Tui. Michael Kalu Okorie. Faziluddin Syed. MD Tofik Tofail. Guoyu T. Mohammed Sohail Khan. Aditya Lingaraju. Lakshmana Aditya Eswara. Majed A. Noor. And Muhammad A. Santali.
Congratulations, master's degree graduates.
Dr. Ralph Mueller, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and Provost, will now recognize distinguished undergraduate students.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my joy and privilege to provide special recognition to those individuals receiving baccalaureate degrees who have demonstrated outstanding scholastic achievement. The commencement booklet contains a statement of the basis upon which the status of distinction and highest distinction is determined. Candidates wearing black and gold cords symbolize this achievement. I now invite the degree candidates who are graduating with highest distinction to please stand and remain standing. I also invite the degree candidates who are graduating with distinction to please stand and remain standing. On behalf of the Purdue trustees and the faculty of Purdue University Northwest, I congratulate you on your outstanding academic records. May you continue to be motivated by excellence and high standards in your quest to make positive contributions throughout your life. Please be seated. I now introduce the Dean of the Honors College, Dr. John Rowan, who will recognize candidates of the Honors College.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to recognize the candidates from the Honors College, and I invite those candidates to please stand and remain standing. These students have fulfilled the graduation requirements of the Honors College, including completion of the academic curriculum and related coursework, substantive research in their disciplines, service engagement with the local community, and leadership experience across a diverse range of areas. These students have received and are wearing the Honors College medallions on black and gold ribbons. I invite the Honors College candidates to be seated.
At this time, I am pleased to facilitate recognition of those individuals who have qualified to receive the Purdue University Northwest Chancellor's Medallion. The Chancellor's Medallion is presented to graduating students who have achieved the highest grade point average within each of the academic colleges of Purdue University Northwest. We would like to present each of those graduates to you at this time. I invite Philip Lakich of the College of Engineering and Sciences to please come to the stage. And I also invite Philip's family members to stand and be recognized. Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Chris Holford to present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees in the College of Engineering and Sciences.
Provost Mueller, I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Engineering and Sciences. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Niaz Latif to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Technology.
Provost Mueller, I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for baccalaureate degree in the College of Technology. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Before I present you for the formal awarding of degrees, I will charge each of you in my capacity as Purdue University Northwest's Chief Academic Officer. Today is Commencement Day. As the word commence indicates, this is a time of beginnings, not ends, a beginning of a journey to find your individual future. During the past few years, we have grown very fond and very proud of you. So I will convey my charge through three distinct observations about you. Our first observation, innovation, is about your past, about your eagerness and readiness to innovate. You arrived on campus a few short years ago, the very beginning of what then seemed so far away, today, beginnings day. You came ready to learn about thinking, about listening, about speaking, and about doing. But also you were ready to explore others' points of view, others' ways of life, and others' explanations of what you had assumed were universal truths. All led to this one goal, the one we're here to mark and celebrate today, to begin your future. Along your path at PNW, you learned to grow, to become an innovator of what will become your own individual future. And this brings me to our second observation about you, impact. And it is about your future, your maturity as learned citizens to impact others to bring about change. You prepared well for the day when you're ready to leave your mark. All the academic work is no good if ultimately it does not touch people. Children who need to be taught, patients who need your care, colleagues who need your advice, or neighbors who need your help. With your dedication and your drive to make the world a better place, you will make academic knowledge have an impact on our constituent communities. One child, one patient, one colleague, one neighbor at a time. So where then does your past, your eagerness to innovate, meet your future, your commitment to impact? Well, they meet right here in the present, at this very moment. And this then is our third and final observation about you. You continue to improve. While you were a student at Purdue University Northwest, I hope we opened some doors for you, doors into your future, for you to walk through and innovate and impact and improve. So here then is my simple charge to you. When you see those open doors, Explore what lies beyond. Right now, in the present, be innovative in choosing your own future. Have the courage to walk through one of those doors. Walk through and find yourselves. And it is okay, too, to turn around and walk back out and check another door, another future. But ultimately, do walk through one of the open doors. And as you do, if you see someone else behind you who needs a little extra encouragement, a little extra help to walk through that door, make an impact by engaging them to join you. Guide them through that door towards your connective and collective journeys to continuously improve yourselves and the world around you. Innovate, impact, improve. 3 words that guide your future. They define this beginnings day, and they are my charge to you. Please know that we are proud of you. Please know that we are proud of those who made all of this happen for you. But also know that we know that you should be very proud of yourselves. You did it. I wish you well, I congratulate you, and I salute you. Chancellor Keon, these students have successfully fulfilled the requirements of undergraduate curricula in their respective colleges. Having gained approval before graduation by the college faculties, I now present them to you to award their degrees.
I would like to again ask Trustee de Krieger to please join me at the podium to do the conferral of degrees.
Observing the respected custom of institutions of higher learning and exercising the authority of the trustees of Purdue University, legally vested by the people of the state of Indiana, and acting on behalf of the faculty of this institution, I now confer on you, who have fulfilled the requirements, the appropriate baccalaureate degree with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. I also solemnly place upon you those obligations which you must henceforth assume as the holders of a baccalaureate degree. As evidence of your ability to fulfill the requirements and obligation of this degree, you will now receive your diplomas.
Will each college marshal now escort the baccalaureate degree graduates forward to receive their diplomas? As the candidates make their way across the stage, please note that they will be crossing in random order. Graduates, please be seated until your row is called.
The graduates of the College of Engineering and Sciences, escorted by Candidate Marshal Mr. William Baginski. Philip Lakich. Ahmed Dasuki Fayed. Lucas Skowronski Stoltz. Luis A. Norman. May Yusama Khalidi. Crystal J. Hall. Aquila Lawan Young. Sally E. Mukatash. Philip Allen Gray. Alex Kanutu. Sreypav Ing. Hallie Morgan Hofstra. Amal Al-Hassan. Michael Frank Lukic. Caitlin June Smith. Chi Shen Chung. Natalie Ann Cerna. Wyatt Every Summer. Christian Alejandro Navarro. Shane M. Murphy. Amber Renee Kolar. Carly Spriggs. Taylor M. Gangler. Ting Yen. Juan Carlos Zavala. Fadi F. Tadros. Mustafa Kaid Mohammed Al-Khaladi. Daryl A. King. Frederic Gnowa Kulabali. Daniel A. Hamala. Miles J. Weber. James Dylan Hannenberg. Jesse T. Bigger. Aaron Nolte. Jacob Adolfo Brunetti. Sarah N. West. Rachel Lynn Senjai. Ferris V. Haddad. Jacob J. Hurtle. Abdul Hakim Abdul Karim Al Hussein. Borhan Jushkun. Sang K. Kang. Paul W. Vogel. Peter J. D'Alessandro. Forrest E. Eisenschmidt. John Rodriguez. Austin Matthew Henson. Donald V. Corlett. Daniel Rafael Quiros. Alexander J. Bagala. Jose A. Martinez. Edward Rivera. Ogie Janjus. Sean Stephen Dvorak. Murilo Kuniyoshi Suzart Kunha. Devin J. DePauli. Joseph R. Switolski. William M. Bennett. Cedric Baker. Stephen J. Malone. Bethany Monica Louise Worrell. Sam Allen Boltice. Brandon Lee Lindmark. Benjamin Lee Sparks. Benjamin Christopher Hachiski. Michael Jacob McNeil. Alex William Metz. Justin Christopher Salgado. Matthew William Wooden. Ronald R. Higginbottom. Aaron J. Morgan. Sheldon D. Bridges. Latifa Isegan. David Ivan Ladich. Christina Lynn Cotas. Tiffany Ann Cotas. Kevin Alexis Hines Salazar. Frank Manuel Heredia Bayas. Christian David Villavicencio Aus. Arturo Santiago Garcia. David Alejandro Armas Rodriguez. Elsa Estefania Sarango Ortiz. Melanie Polev Jaime Chiriboga. Sofía Mercedes Taipe León. Carlos Andrés Fierro Maldonado. Turoche Idrovo Jonathan Andrés. Miguel Sebastián Aragón Almeida. Daira Estefania Sarango Briones. Christian David Montes de Oca Zurita. Andrea Carolina Galvez Ortiz. Gabriel Alejandro Castro Aguayo. Richard A. Potosi Diaz. Osvaldo Rajiv Arellano Ruiz. Diego Santiago Cajas Mantufa. Philip Roman Artiaga. Yadira Alexandra Rosero Mejia. Karen Lilibet Reyes Pacheco. Carlos Antonio Samaniego Arguello. Andrés Javier Jara Loma. Joshua Efraín Alberto Miranda. Samuel R. Wagman. Michael D. Douglas. Aaron C. Tonkovich. Joshua V. Potrowski. Miloš Nikolas Trivunovic. Jessica Ruth Kaiser. Leslie Megan Ford. Samantha Joy Openheis. Miriam E. Giron. Salvador Papo Cordova. Max Jacob Hastings. Drake Xavier Jirovac. Joshua D. Vandenover. Jacob Albert Pavel. Richard D. Gorby. Salvador Espinosa. Ildibrando Alexis Santana Garcia. Edwin Andres Mosquera Salazar. Abel Andres Reyes Angulo. Abdul Basit Ali. Aaron P. Cunningham. Alfredo Salinas. Zachary Depke. Christopher Henry Rusk Jr. Kyle R. Christoph. John Michael Georges. Taylor Lance Barron. Samuel E. Nielsen. William D. Hunding. Andrew J. Luberda. Thomas Cole Keith. And Joshua Taylor Wachowski. The graduates of the College of Engineering and Sciences. The graduates of the College of Technology, escorted by Candidate Marshal Ms. Amber Schuler. Eric D. Jorgensen. Nathan Gregory Alexander. Joshua Robert Ramsey. Ryan Alexander. Nicholas C. Kim. Derek B. Ellis. Andrew Jonathan Kolarski. Darren R. Snyder. Travis Joseph Naw. Neil Robert Hamilton. Ryan William Brickman. William Ing. Isidoro M. Quiroga. Abdul Rahman Abdulaziz Albati. Jamal A. Davis. Theodore G. Penn. Michael William Brown. Michael John Zabluski. Stephen Thomas Potowski IV. David Ortiz. Kio Rosario Falco Jr. Marcos Garcia. Jonathan Moreno. Arvidas Mukasevas. Renaldas Lepus. Evan Andrew Fuss. Anthony E. Davila. Omar S. Salazar. Glenn Wilson Curlin II. Don Michael Evora. David A. Rodriguez. Carly Steinberg. Judith G. Evans. Julio Alberto Aguilar. Corwin Stokes. Christopher P. Mays. Tegan Ziron. Matthew J. Gassaway. Robin Kendrick. Gautam Gopal. James Andrew Clanton. Zachary T. Martin. Daniel J. Janik. Veronica Marie Moreno. Kevin M. Sparks, Sr. Hamoud Helsan Abdullah Al-Khatami. Abdullah Ali Alulayan. Michael James Fiello. Christopher L. Jorgensen. Kyle A. Harris. Neil Smith. Karen Thalia Abad Navarrete. Marlon Adrián Paredes Silva. Miguel David. Nicholas F. Huffman. Christopher Tyson. Mariella Charlotte Hunter. Hasham Mohammed Maqbool. Khalid Al-Zuabi. Yasser Jassim Al-Sukairi. Abdul Salam Saad Al-Gamdi. And Gayung Ji. The graduates of the College of Technology.
To signify the completion of your degree requirements and receipt of your diploma, I now invite all graduates to move the tassels on their mortarboards to the left side. Congratulations, you are now Purdue Northwest graduates! To officially welcome you to the Purdue Northwest alumni contingents comprising of thousands, I invite Ms. Ashley Giordamos, Executive Director of the Purdue Northwest alumni community, to the podium.
Congratulations to the newest Purdue University Northwest alumni. I am honored to be the first to welcome you into the PNW alumni community. As graduates, you join a community of over 64,000 strong, made up of CEOs and entrepreneurs, of lawyers and advocates, of leading scholars and researchers, scientists and engineers, Emmy Award winners, mayors, state representatives, journalists, nurses, authors, judges, and so much more. Each a story that has added to our rich history and paved the way for future Purdue Northwest students. It doesn't seem like very long ago that I was sitting where you are today. I am a very proud 2008 graduate of the Purdue Northwest School of Hospitality and Tourism Management. I reflect fondly on my time as an undergrad. It wasn't always easy, but this is the place where I met some of my closest friends, made lifelong connections, and the place where I met my husband. When I entered the workforce, it became evident to me and my supervisors that the education I received at Purdue Northwest prepared me to succeed in my field of study and beyond. Outside of my own family, the biggest supporters I've had throughout my career have been my professors and other PNW community members. Before I returned to serve PNW, it was deeply important to me to stay connected. These people continue to be my mentors and advocates, creating new connections for me. Purdue Northwest is more than books, bricks, and mortar. Its real value is in its community of people. So my advice for you is to stay connected. Shoot a quick email to your favorite professor to check in or let them know of a new project you're working on. Encourage your company to recruit from PNW. Find me on LinkedIn. Keep up with what's happening here on campus and in our alumni community. Your network is strong. Stay engaged in it. You each have your own stories and connections that you have created in your time here. Now, class of 2018, go out there and continue writing your story and paving the way for future Purdue Northwest students. I am so proud to call you fellow alumni. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anna Dooley, Student Government Vice President, will now respond to the graduates on behalf of all Purdue Northwest students.
Good afternoon, graduates. My name is Anna Dooley, and I am a new graduate of the College of Nursing. I want to acknowledge Chancellor Keon, Trustee DeKruiger, Provost Mueller, our Vice Chancellors, faculty, staff, and honored family and guests. Today, when you walk out of these doors, you're leaving it all behind. Every test, quiz, and project. The successes, failures, joys, and frustrations. You have overcome each of these challenges and are present now because of your intellect, your endurance, and maybe because of the helping hands that others have offered to you along the way. The name Purdue University Northwest stands behind you now. Don't take it lightly. This degree has prepared you to be an effective agent of change in your community, and your community needs you. Your community needs highly trained individuals who can handle adversity and differences. It needs individuals who can envision meaningful goals and who can work together to achieve these goals. The journey we take through college is very similar to the journey of a very famous musician by the name of Itzhak Perlman. Itzhak Perlman is a virtual violin player who has been performing internationally for over 50 years. He exudes a lot of joy with each note that he plays, and a certain tenderness lends itself to his style. Despite the carefree nature of his music, Perlman has never known an easy life. After contracting polio as a very young child, he was forever disabled and cannot walk across the concert stage without the aid of a pair of crutches. Every time Perlman chooses to perform, he also chooses the task of stepping out on stage and painfully moving toward his chair in front of the audience. Once this difficult journey is complete, he takes up his violin and flawlessly leads the audience on a brilliant musical journey. Such a performance is not merely taken for granted. The long journey it took to reach the audience intensifies the appreciation of those who listen. College is hard. It's arduous and sometimes boring. Yet without these challenges, we would not fully appreciate the degrees we earn today. Only a small percentage of the population of the entire world even has the opportunity to attend college, and many who begin do not finish the challenge. As a Purdue University college graduate walking across the stage, consider the long journey of Perlman crossing his stage to face his audience and share his gifts with the world. You also have endured a long journey, but today it's all worth it. You are now primed and ready to stand before the world and be the brilliant educator, engineer, scientist, politician, engineer, writer, accountant, or entrepreneur, standing in the spotlight and sharing your gifts and abilities. But before you move on to those bigger and better things, take a moment to say thank you. Think of those family members who cheered you on with a hug, a warm meal, or a word of encouragement. Think of your friends and classmates who provided a listening ear, a helpful hand, a good joke, or a study guide. Think of the professors and tutors who patiently sat down with you to ensure that you truly learned and passed your classes. Think of your personal community that has supported your endeavors. And now get ready to go back to your communities. Your long, difficult journey has ended. It's time to perform and give back to those communities what they have put into you. I wish you all the best, and congratulations, my fellow graduates.
I'd like to give you one final word of excitement, I hope. And that word of excitement evolves around the fact that you've worked hard, you've been successful, but now the journey begins again. You will need to continue that hard work. As you've heard from Alexis, as she's talked about the trials and tribulations of life that she's overcome to become successful, so too will you all have trials and tribulations to overcome. At Purdue University Northwest, we strive to be the best university in Northwest Indiana, and it's because of all of you and the future successes that you will have that I know that we will always be proud to have been part of Purdue University Northwest. So congratulations, students, once again. You are now graduates of Purdue University Northwest spring class of 2018. There will be an informal reception for graduates and guests immediately following the ceremony in Alumni Hall in the Student Union Library building across 173rd. I ask you to remain seated for the recession of the platform party and the faculty members. Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth commencement for Purdue University Northwest has now concluded.